Hey there guys, what's up? It's your buddy mikeyperion here, and I hope you have a great day because for today we are now at episode 10 of our iCraft season 5, and now we're trying to make our automatic sorting system for our guardian farm just to organize things up. And I also have made some progress in our ship mining area down there. Well, we already have done the sorting system a lot of times from our previous seasons, so well, I'm not gonna do any tutorial on this. Instead, I'm just gonna talk on some stuff while doing this. But anyway, so first things up, the progress in our base, pretty much we have done a lot so far, especially with the farms, with the florist and the layout and the stuff, but we're still not done yet. But to be honest, I'm still very happy with our progress and as well as our pacing with the things happening around us. Especially we got a very massive Gardens of Perion right over here, our current project. Well, probably we'll still have one more episode for the Gardens of Perion project after this episode, because the next thing that we have to work on after this sorting system is the ceiling in this place. Well, like I said, our plan here is that we are going to build our steampunk city, the city of Perion, on the top of this base of operations, which is going to be our main project for this season of iCraft. Of course, well, we are going to have some very nice decorations and stuff in the ceiling, and as much as possible, we are going to make it really awesome, a jaw-dropping piece of art. Well, of course, in a Minecraft way. Well, something to say once other people have entered our base, maybe through the nether portal or even in the front entrance. Of course, that's our purpose. Well, this is a no easy work to do, and I'm gonna do this maybe 2 episodes in order to fit in our schedule. So for today's episode, we are going to start working first on the foundations and the supports and the pillars and the trusses. Well, I already have some ideas. Definitely, well, not yet that definite actually. Should I say? Well, we still have to work on the design along the way for this episode. Then for the next episode, probably, of course, after we have done the pillars and the trusses, we are going to start working more of the intricate details, the decors or the art or the design of the ceiling that we are going to have in this base of operations. Of course, I want to have something really awesome, like I said. Well, of course, that's for the latter part. Maybe on the next episode we are going to work on those stuff, but most probably for this episode we are only going to work on the pillars and the trusses. So well, of course, we're almost done here in the Gardens of Perion. So what I expect after this project, of course, we still need to work more of the functional aspect of our base or our city. Definitely, we need to prioritize the hostile mob farm and as well as the stone factory, and we are going to build that on the top of this base of operations, of course, within the city, hidden in some structures. And we need to prioritize that because maybe after we have done this base of operations, we already run out of stone, right? Well, of course, I also mentioned about the blaze farm, but we also need to set aside that probably after we have done the stone factory. Of course, we need to prioritize that, like I said. And I also mentioned that well, for the meantime, maybe for the next month, our city will still be skeletal for the meantime. Well, we're still not gonna see any steampunkish in our city, so bear with me, guys. Well, our city may take time to take shape, but of course, not too late for this season. And also, probably along the side while doing this stuff, I'm also gonna start digging our nether tunnel from time to time because we have a very long way to go in order to reach the nether hub. Probably, I think that's around 800 blocks away. But of course, probably for this season, we are also going to have our nether base because we also have our plan for the blaze farm, right? But probably for the wither skeleton farm, I still need to think about it. So, well, I think those are the plans, the updated plans for the next couple of months coming up for our episode. But of course, we still have a long way to go for this season of iCraft. But anyway, so I think those are the things that I need to talk to you about, guys. Well, of course, let's get into our episode. So let's go straight to our building session. So like I said, for this episode, we are going to work on the roof or the ceiling of these Gardens of Perion. So the first thing that I want to do is to extend these water elevators on this side and as well as on the other side right over there in order for us to connect it with some trusses that will support something like, at least we could make our ceiling look more stable and firm. So I think this is pretty necessary, especially that we got a wide space right here in our Gardens of Perion. So basically, we just need to extend these elevators, and yes, let's do it. And so we have extended these two normal water elevators right over here because these are not the express ones. So the express elevators are on those side right over there. So let's try to go up down there. So basically on the front side right over here, we are going to have here the express elevator. So one of which this one may be going to be the downward elevator, and on the other side right over here is going to be the upward elevator, just to boost us up going down here in the base of operation, and as well as our planned residence on the top part of this base. So well, we're gonna see about that soon, right? Well, this looks pretty promising, right? I mean, I can already imagine how this will turn out, and I know it will turn out really awesome, right? Well, I'm so excited to do this. So first thing that we have to do is to connect some trusses to the center pillar from these side pillars that we have on the walls. So basically, of course, this is going to be like our support on the roof. So definitely these trusses is going to be very massive, and as well as somehow pretty dynamic in terms of like the shape. So well, I'm excited to show you guys on how this will look like, and of course, well, I'm just gonna do some fast forward in order for you guys not to be bored of these, you know, block placing stuff. But anyways, let's get it on. And we have done one of these lower part of the trusses. So basically, this is just a base of the trusses, and that's very weird though. What a lag. But anyway, so here's how it looks like so far. So basically, of course, you also need to copy these 7 more times because we need 8 of these. So basically, we already have 1. So well, this is just the lower part. We still need to have a top beam and as well as vertical trusses, something like vertical bars, in order to hold those or connect those trusses. And like I said, we are also going to do 7 more times. But anyways, let's do it. And so far, here is how it looks like from above. Well, it looks pretty nice, right? It looks like some kind of a flower. But anyways, of course, we are going to cover this up. I don't know why did I show you this, guys. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that we have a nice view from above with these trusses. So now, well, it's time to extend these pillars. Of course, we still need to raise this because I think the space is not enough. Well, just kidding, right? Of course, you also need to remove first these lavas because we are going to extend this. So probably we are going to put this on top in order for us to have more lighting source. Especially that, of course, we have some surfaces. So probably it's the best if we're going to have to extend this lava up to the top. But anyways, let's continue building this. And well, this is the design that I came up with. Well, I actually tried a couple of designs, but I think this is good enough, simple enough, and as well as it's not overdone. Because we have to do this 28 more times because we have 29 pillars in this wall. So basically, of course, we also need to extend all of these pillars around our base. So, well, we still have a lot of repetitive works to do. But anyways, well, we have to do it, right? Well, I actually brought my shulker with me and as well as the materials, of course, because, well, it's really taking me time to go up and down to our storage area. So basically, well, at least we have this stuff accessible, right? Including this stone cutter, which is pretty helpful for us to have more, what do you call this? Supplies of these I mean, the blocks that we need, so at least we can have more materials efficiently. So basically, of course, I think this is the best thing to do in order to make our job easier. And so far, I think we're halfway done with this pillar. So we're ready on this part right over here. So let's place some lava. So basically, here's how I place the lava. So in one pillar, we actually have 6. Actually, it's 4 to 6. It depends on how many sides. So basically, like this one, we have 2 sides of the angled part, or something like the somehow with the arc. I don't know how it's called though, but something like with these 2 sides. So basically, on this one, we have 6 lava sources, and on those one-sided we actually only have 4. So well, still a lot of lava, right? I mean, I already have went to the nether, going back there back and forth a couple of times to get some lava. But anyway, so let's try to check it from above. But I know, well, this is not the final look from the top, because we are going to build the yeah, there you go. Okay. The city on the top of this base of operations. But so far, here's how it looks like. Well, it looks pretty nice, right? I mean, I wish I could retain this, but of course, our plan is to build the city on the top of this. But of course, we still need to build more of these pillar extensions. But anyways, still a lot of work though. And finally, we have done all of the pillars, well, except for the corners. Well, we have different plan for the corners. So basically, all of the 4 corners doesn't have these similar pillars. But of course, we are just going to do that in the next episode. So the last thing that I wanted to do for this building session, of course, well, I'm planning to go to the town center to check out some stuff after this. So the last thing that we have to do for this episode, for this building session, are to finish up the trusses. So basically, well, let's check out first. Well, it's not really that visible from the ground floor. I mean, these pillars though, but I think if we went to the second floor, it will be more visible, right? But anyways, of course, this is not final yet. So the last thing that we have to do for this episode is the top part of the trusses, and as well as the vertical bars that will hold the lower part and the upper part of these trusses. But anyways, so well, last couple of things to do for this building session, and I'll be back. So I made one sample of the trusses right over here. So basically, I think we still need to do some lighting, and I actually have done a couple of tries for the design, but apparently, well, I haven't done this in the testing world. So basically, this is the first time we're doing it. So basically, well, of course, I also need to do this 8 more times. So let's go here. So if you're wondering how do I get on those top of those things, well, I actually just placed a ladder right over here. Where's it though? Oh, so it should be right over here. Here's our ladder. So, well, I think we just need to add some sea lanterns on the top part right over here. But basically, these sea lanterns will just be basically visible on the bottom in the ground floor, because of course we are also going to cover up this with floorings. Well, I think it's just for some effect, and as well as for us to avoid some mobs to spawn here for the meantime. So that's why I'm just placing these sea lanterns. I know this is a lot, but of course we just want to have that effect that it's kind of bright, something like that, right? But anyway, so well, I'm just gonna finish this up and fast forward things, and I'll be back. And yes, this is a lot of work than I expected, so at least we're done with the trusses. But there's one thing that I want to do is something like a ring in the middle, because there's something like a missing part in the center, so something that will connect all of these four pillars in the center. So probably that's the last thing that I want to do before we end this building session, before we go to the town center. So definitely I think it's a must, at least for this episode. But anyways, let's do it, right? So I think this is very much easier compared to what we have done all around our base for this episode. So I think this is just gonna be quick and very simple. So well, I'm also thinking that maybe on the next episode we could put up like a dome on the top of this guardian farm, and as well as, of course, we also need to cover this guardian farm right over here. Maybe some smaller dome in the center, and it will be hooked up to a chain to the top of our clock tower, so it will be like something like a pendulum. But I don't know yet though, but I think it's an awesome idea, right? And placing the last pieces of these glowstones, and we're actually done, at least for the building session for this episode, right? I mean, I can promise you guys this will look awesome on the next episode. Of course, we're planning to put up like a dome in those section, and of course, we are also going to have some art and some of like, you know, some sort of like extravagant decorations in the roof section or in the ceiling. Well, at least this looks more firm, right? I mean, at least we have some support in the midsection, so I think it's really worth it, right? I think it really adds to the, how do you call this, the realisticity, if that's the term. Well, just to say that it's more realistic, I think. So, well, so far, I'm totally happy of what we have accomplished for this episode. But of course, for the next episode, we are going to do more. But now it's time to go to the town center, because I want to check out things, so at least we can have more planning to do. And well, we have finally arrived here in the town center. So currently, Luukzilla is working over here. He's working on this town center. So basically, we're currently here on this map. So, well, of course, a lot of people are still working on this base. So, probably that's why there's not much of a build here in the town center. So, well, soon enough, of course, there's a lot of projects that will arise here. So, on this section right over here is where I actually reserved our project for the capital. So, in that direction right over there. So, probably we are going to work there soon. And as well as, I also want to check the farming district, which is around here. So basically, I also want to check what are the stuff going on here, because I also want to contribute something in our communal farming district over there. So probably it's also best to check that out. And as well as, lastly, on our itinerary, I also want to pass by this area right over here, because this is where I plan to have our personal residences, which is near to our town center. Well, not that near, we still have to travel along this distance, right? But anyway, so I think that's our itinerary for the meantime. We'll go first to the capital, and then to the farming district, and as well as to our residences. So first, let's go to the capital. And so this is our reserved spot for our capital project, but I think it's not that big enough though. Well, I'm starting to become greedy, but anyway, so I think we can expand up to here. So this place right over here is still unclaimed, so probably we'll also take this part maybe up to this pond right over here. At least we got some water features in the back, right? So I think that's a good idea. But yeah, so well, currently I'm just showing you guys what are the plans that we are going to have in the future, especially here in the town center, because this is off location, right? And I also planning to have like a pathway right over here. So something like, in order for us to have a nice, you know, walking distance from the town center going here, and at least we can have something like a reservation on the facade of our capital. But anyway, so the next thing that we're going to is the farming district. And now we're here in the farming district, but I'm totally confused though, because what I know is that this savanna biome right over here is going to be the farming district, but we got some builds right over in this biome, or this section, which is not the savanna biome, and we got the bridge, and there's like a shack right over there. I think that's Luukzilla's. Yeah, because I know he's currently working here, but I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe I should ask him on Discord. But anyway, so I think, well, let's just go to the residences. I mean, our area for our residents. That's what I meant. Well, let's try to fly going there. I think that would be the fastest if this trident will let me fly. Let's try. Yeah. well, that worked. And well, so we have arrived here for our final stop for this quick tour. So basically, of course, well, I have to show you this, guys, that this is going to be our personal residence in the future. Of course, we are also going to make an awesome house right over here. This is reserved for Mikey, of course. Well, I'm totally excited to work here, but of course, we still need to prioritize our base, right? But anyway, so at least we already have toured the place, at least for this town center. This is a massive area that we have here for our future projects. But anyway, so well, we're actually done for this episode, so I think that's it. Well, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, and make sure to subscribe. This has been Mikey Perion, and I'll see you guys next time.